We don't want to be too far along in any of our protection work. The longer I train my dog in protection and the more obedience I put on my dog, the harder it's going to be to train the object guard. We want our young dog a little bit out of control. So depending on the individual dog and their temperament and their motivation levels, the dog is generally somewhere between 7 and 8 months and 14, 16, 18 months. Right? It just depends on the given dog. Once the dog knows to put his feet on an object, turn in circles, his bite work is to a certain point, what we do is we put a harness on the dog, a long line with a control collar, a pinch collar usually for us, and we go to our object. The decoy faces the dog, the handler stands behind the dog, asks the dog to put his feet onto the object, and the decoy slowly comes towards the dog. The decoy does not give the dog an overt signal to bite. He doesn't reach for the object, he doesn't move quickly, he walks slowly in towards the dog, and the handler says nothing. If the decoy gets to a certain point, about a meter away from the object, and the dog has not bitten, the decoy will back up and make noise to frustrate the dog. If the decoy is backing away from the object, the dog can't bite. The dog can't go forward and bite. If the decoy is coming towards the object, the dog is allowed to go bite. The handler, it doesn't matter if it's 3 feet or 13 feet. If the decoy is coming towards the object, the dog can go bite. If the decoy is moving away from the object, that's a signal from the decoy to the handler that he's trying to make frustration in the dog because the dog didn't make the choice to bite, and the dog's not allowed to bite. You stop the dog from biting. And what we'll do as a decoy, I'll make an approach. If the dog doesn't bite, I'll back up and frustrate the dog some more. I'll make another approach exactly like the first one. If the dog doesn't bite, I'll back up and frustrate the dog until the point where the dog can't take it anymore. I approach and the dog chooses to bite me. He made the choice on his own. He was frustrated enough that the handler didn't have to say bite, and the decoy didn't have to make an overt move. Now the dog's come off the objects and is biting the decoy. As soon as the dog bites the decoy gives the dog a fight to let the dog know that he did the right thing. Then the decoy will freeze, count to 3, and then start to back up. At the moment he starts to back up, the handler gives the dog a correction on the pinch collar. No commands. He does not say out, doesn't do anything. You want the dog to figure out that the decoy's backing up is the signal for him to out, not a command from the handler. Any commands from the handler feed into the dog's, the rest of our relationship with our dog, where the dog is looking for a signal from the handler that it's okay. So as soon as he backs up, he gives a correction, the dog lets go, and as soon as the dog lets go, the handler gives the dog the command to get back on the object or touch or whatever your command is. Object, the dog gets back on the object, and as soon as the dog's front feet are back on the object, the handler grabs the harness on the dog, marks the behavior of getting back on the object with a yes, okay, whatever your marker word is. The dog hits it, marks it, holds the dog there, the decoy comes back in and gives the dog a bite on the object.